Hello, I'm Rated and welcome back to another video. So I play a lot of FIFA, usually pro clubs, and I used to play Ultimate Team quite a lot, but EA ruined that, so I'm not going to touch it. Since then the game has become pretty stale. I was thinking to myself, what else is there that I could do in FIFA? I mean, there's not a lot, but I've decided to dabble in career mode. A mode which I do usually find pretty boring unless I restrict and challenge myself. So now I've decided to start a challenge, and here it is. So the rules of this challenge are fairly simple. I must replicate the team by having the same amount of players, and those players must match the nationality of those players in those positions. I must then win the league and Champions League in the same season by either playing or simulating the games. So I'm going to start off the first season of this, as I suppose, with Lyon. So Olympic Lyon in 2007-2008 won the Ligue 1, and this was the 7th time consecutively they've done this. They have players like Karim Benzema, Juninho, Fred, Ben Arfa. However, since then they have never won it. They've fallen to the likes of Marseille, a shock season by Montpellier, and then Monaco, and then the financial dominance of PSG. So let's get into the series. Okay, so first things first, pre-season tournament. I'm just going to choose the European International Cup as highest paid one. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go through the squad and transfer list all of those players that I can't use. So I can't use players that don't fit the Lyon squad from 2007-2008. So for example, the Lyon squad back then had 4 French goalkeepers, which means I cannot use Anthony Lopez because he is a Portuguese goalkeeper. So the squad from back then is as follows. They had 4 French goalkeepers, 2 French right backs, 2 Brazilian centre backs, 3 French centre backs, 1 Swiss centre back and 1 Italian left back. They then had 1 Spanish centre mid, 1 Swedish centre mid, 4 French centre mids and 1 Brazilian centre mid. They had 1 Brazilian striker, 1 French striker and 1 Ivory Coastian striker. And then to finish it, they had 2 French wingers and an Argentine winger. So the hard bit about this challenge is getting rid of players I don't particularly want to get rid of. Like Denier as centre back, he's a decent centre back considering I am Lyon. There's also going to be the likes of Memphis Depay, again Anthony Lopez, Traore that I need to get rid of. So there is a kind of a lot of restrictions that do make this challenge pretty difficult. I was also just thinking to myself, what happens if I don't manage to sell some of the players? For example, if I don't sell Memphis Depay, that's a good potentially 50-60 million that I then don't have to reinvest into the team. If that happens, that would be a struggle. Okay, so I am now just coming up to the last couple of players to transfer list. There are a lot of players here that don't fit the bill. I was assuming because it's a French team with a lot of French players that it might be a fairly easy one to get started with, but I'm missing up a lot of players that I think might make this really difficult. I mean, we'll find out. Okay, so I've spent about 2 hours going through the transfer list and shortlisting a load of players that I can actually use. I do have a slight issue though. I do need a couple of players before I can even play the first pre-season tournament game. I need a French goalkeeper. There aren't any in the club, and I do need to have one in goal in the starting 11 before I can even play a game. Hopefully I don't spend too much on one. I think that he is probably the best one to get. Is quite young and looks fairly good price if it's a good rating. I also need a left back as well, the Italian left back, so I need to get Emerson as well before I jump into the first game. So current value 8 million. If I offer, I don't know, let's just go 8. He's worth 8. I'd offer 8. 11.5 with a 10%. If I get that down to 10, and I'll take the 10% sell on, because I probably won't sell him. And if they accept that, then that's I accidentally agreed at 11.5. It's only 1.5 mil, but I don't know who I'm going to sell, so I kind of need as much of this money as I can get. So moving on to Emerson, like I said before, I do need him. I can't play game. unless I have him in either the subs or the starting 11. I could play centre back there, but I may as well get the best Italian left back I can get. So I'm just gonna go 16 mil. I don't know, 17.6 or 10%. I will accept that. Again, the selling isn't really much of an issue to me. The sell-on clause. I probably won't sell him. If I do, I need to then replace him with another Italian left back, and that might be a bit of a struggle for me. So the sell-on fee doesn't really bother me too much. Just hope I can get him to agree personal terms. You can take important. I mean, you've got to be crucial, but you can take important. 4 years will be enough. Perfect. No, but yes, no release clause. Accepting that in any day. That's not too bad for his financials. I'll take that. I'll take it because I do really need him. So there's the left back done, and then moving on to the goalkeeper. Let's just finalise his contract. I can't see him wanting too much. Sporadic, yeah, okay, I'll take that. 4 years, yeah, it's fine by me. No release, good. I just don't want players getting bought out of their release clause and I need to panic and buy one. I mean, the wages for him are a little bit high, but you know, I do need him. Right, so there are a couple of more players I need to buy just to fill out the rest of the starting 11 and some of the subs bench, because I can't use players or I can't risk the manager using players when I sim games that I can't use. So I found a couple of cheaper players that I can use, like this guy Nygren, for example. He fits the Swedish centre mid bill, and he's cheap. So I'm going to try and sign him. I just paid his release clause. I mean, he shouldn't cost me too much, and he is a player that I could use in cup games, for example. He's quite young, so get him on a prospect, a 5-year deal because he's young. I mean, the contract length doesn't really make too much of a difference. No release clause, thank you. And the wage, I don't know much about him, but I would assume 10 will be enough for him with a 200k sign-in bonus. Yeah, perfect. That's another player to then fit the bill. I'm then going to look at a... I don't know. Some of these are kind of expensive. I just need to get the cheaper players done, so I've got more money at the end. Cabral does have a release clause and he is a Brazilian. Yeah, okay. 11.9. I'll do that. And then that does give me another striker that I could use, and he's not too expensive, so I'll go for Cabral. Hopefully his wages aren't too high, his contract terms. I've got important. I will use him in and out of Dembele, who I hopefully can keep hold of. 4 years. Okay, cool, accepted. No release clause, thank you for that. Oh, and they'll give me the wages. Okay, that's good. So I was kind of panicking a little bit there, but I've got Cabral as well, so that's a striker done. Do I then? I'll go for him as well. I'm not gonna do the release clause because I reckon I can get him cheaper than 4 mil. I don't know much about him, but I'm assuming if he's got a 4 mil release clause, I could probably go 3, maybe 2.5, 3. Let's just see what they accept. Let's go 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. Perfect. I've only saved myself 900k, but it's better than not saving it, I suppose. Let's try and get this guy to accept the contract terms. Just give him a rotation. He might play a couple games. I don't know what rating he is, but 3-year contract, yeah, doesn't make too much of a difference. No release clause, which is good because then I don't have to panic buy one. They've not given me much. I'll probably just do 20 and 300. I'm not too sure. Perfect, okay. So I've got a transfer offer for Maxwell Cornet. So I'm gonna negotiate. So I reckon I can get, and hopefully I can get a little bit more for him. If not, then at least I tried to get something extra. He's still quite young, 76 rated. He could get me 15-2 maybe, 12-2. No. We'll try and push for 35. Why not? We'll go 30 and 5. Still 12-2. I don't think I'm gonna get much more. I'll just accept it, and at least to get a little bit of a sell-on fee. Right, first pre-season game time. I do just sim the pre-season games. So let's see what happens. 3-0 to Roma. Okay, that's rough. I mean, probably just going to be a continuation from or for the rest of this pre-season tournament. Offer for Tete. Yeah, 10.5. Why not? And Yangambi, well, I would accept that too. Probably not going to use him. Back with a couple more transfer offers. One for this goalkeeper, I'm just going to accept. And there's a loan offer for Traore, which I will reject as well. And then we'll just sim the game against Leicester, which we lose 2-1, and I get Dembele injured. Great. I don't think I'd have shown anything. Not much happened. I didn't get any requests, but sim Leverkusen and 3-0. Great. Another 3-0 loss. This pre-season has gone terribly. Injured Dembele and lost all of the games. Love that. So back with a couple more transfer offers. One for Marcelo and one for Diop. I will accept Diop just because I do want a better Spanish centre mid, and I might keep Marcelo for this season, I think. So, Jason Denayer, 22 mil from Leverkusen. I will negotiate this. I think I can get more. I'm going to try and push more towards 30. I think I could get 30 mil for him. 22 seems quite cheap. Let's try 32. Okay. 24.6. No. Let's go dead 30. They come 25.9. See, I still reckon I could push a little bit more. Let's go 27.50. Me in the middle. Accepted. Perfect. So that's going to be a wrap for episode 1 of this series. There's still a lot more to come. I'm just going to stop here so I can have a look at some more players that I can buy, and if there are any comments recommending any players, that I can have a look at those. If you did enjoy episode 1, please do leave a like and subscribe, and if you do want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both of the links are in the description.